Hello friends, myself Dr. Dhaneshwari Patil from KK Engineering College. Today from fuels topic, we will discuss on ultimate analysis of coal. Now see here, when we say a coal, so it is a type of solid fuel and that is being obtained from deep earth crust where the wood that will get degraded under high pressure and temperature and convert into the coal sample. Now when we say the coal is formed, so conversion of wood into coal, that process is known as coalification, and during this coalification process we are getting different qualities of coal sample or different grades of coal sample. Like we know we are having different types of coal sample: peat, lignite, bituminous, anthracite, etc. So here if we have to determine given extracted coal is being of which quality, then it becomes necessary to carry out its analysis. And as every coal sample is having different quality, we need to carry out its analysis. So the purpose of analysis of coal is to decide the quality of coal sample, to decide the price of that coal sample, to decide the uses of the given coal sample. And this analysis can be done by using two ways. One is the proximate analysis and another one is the ultimate analysis. Now proximate analysis, in this we are finding out the four contents, that is percent moisture, volatile matter, ash and fixed carbon. While in ultimate analysis we are finding out the percentage of constituent elements like carbon, hydrogen, sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen and ash. So whatever constituent elements are present, that can be determined by using the ultimate analysis. Here we are going to discuss this ultimate analysis method. Now in ultimate analysis, what we said, that we can find out the percentage of constituent elements like carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur and oxygen. So to find out this every element, we have to use the different method. So we are going to see here one of the method for the determination of carbon and hydrogen, which is known as the combustion method. Now why the combustion method? Because see here, we know carbon and hydrogen both are combustible, both will react with the oxygen, and that is why we can find out this percentage of carbon and hydrogen by using the combustion method. Now what is the basic principle used in this method? That as carbon and hydrogen both are combustible, what we'll do here, we will take some weighed quantity of coal sample, we will carry out its combustion. So if carbon is present, it will convert to CO2, hydrogen is present, it will convert to water. And here if we know how much amount of CO2 is obtained and how much amount of water is obtained from the given type of coal sample, then we can easily calculate the percentage of carbon and hydrogen. Means the products of combustion, that is amount of CO2 and amount of water, will give us the percentage of carbon and hydrogen. Now how to calculate or how to find out how much amount of CO2 and water is obtained? Let us see. So here you can see in this diagram that we are having this combustion tube. To this combustion tube we are having one inlet for giving the pure and dry oxygen, so that combustion can be carried out in presence of oxygen. In this platinum plate we will keep our coal sample, and then we will carry out the heating of our weighed coal sample in presence of pure and dry oxygen. We need pure and dry because if other gases like CO2 or water vapors will be present, then that will come into our weight of CO2 and H2O. So to avoid this, we have to use here a pure and dry oxygen. So here we will carry out the heating of our coal sample. At its ignition temperature, the fuel will catches the fire. Means what will happen? The fuel will shows the combustion. Now if it will shows the combustion, what will happen? It has a carbon, so carbon will convert to CO2. It has a hydrogen, hydrogen will convert to H2O. Now the room temperature state for CO2 and H2O, that are gaseous. So once the fuel will show the combustion, this CO2 and H2O will be present in a vapor form, and these vapors will be then allowed to pass through this combustion tube. Now to this combustion tube, we can see here to the right side, we are having the two U tubes. One is having this anhydrous magnesium perchlorate and another one is having the KOH solution. Now what is the role of these U tubes? So see here, these two U tubes that are pre-weighed U tubes, means before the combustion of fuel, their weights that is calculated. Now once we will carry out the combustion, CO2 and H2O is allowed to pass through these two U tubes, where what will happen that this anhydrous magnesium perchlorate U tube will absorb the water. Anhydrous means it has a capacity to absorb the water. So this anhydrous magnesium perchlorate U tube will absorb the water, and this KOH solution U tube that will absorb the CO2. So here once the CO2 and H2O will be absorbed by these two U tubes, it will increases their weight. Okay, so it will be like an example of sponge. Now if we have a sponge, it is dried, you can note its weight. Now we'll put some water on this. Now sponge will absorb the water. So what will happen? Again you can know its weight, note its weight, and you can find that we are getting some increase in weight. So in the same way, these U tubes are the pre-weighed U tubes. Once it will absorb the CO2 and H2O, that will increase their weight. And from that increase in weight of KOH and CaCl2 U tube, we can find out the amount of CO2 and water formed respectively. So basically what is the combustion method? That here carbon and hydrogen by combustion are converted to CO2 and H2O. Okay, now these are being allowed to pass through the two pre-weighed U tubes. One is containing anhydrous magnesium chloride and perchlorate, and another one is containing the KOH solution. Now water vapor will be absorbed by the anhydrous magnesium perchlorate and CO2 vapors that will be absorbed by the KOH solution. So increase in weight of KOH U tube will give us the amount of CO2 formed, while increase in weight of anhydrous magnesium perchlorate U tube will give us the weight of water formed. So what we can give the principle of this combustion method? That an accurately weighed coal sample of around 1 and 2 gram is being burnt in a current of oxygen in the combustion apparatus. As a result, carbon and hydrogen of the coal are converted into a CO2 and H2O respectively. Now these are being absorbed by the KOH and CaCl2 U tubes, which are pre-weighed. The increase in weight of KOH U tube gives us the amount of CO2 formed, while increase in weight of CaCl2 U tube gives us the amount of water formed in this combustion method. Now how we can calculate the percentage of carbon and hydrogen from this increase in weight of U tubes? Let us see. Now here you can see in this slide that when we say that carbon is reacting with oxygen, we are getting the formation of CO2. Now every reaction that will takes place according to the mole ratio, according to the mole concept, here we can say that 1 mole of carbon is reacting with 1 mole of oxygen, giving us 1 mole of CO2. Means here we can say 1 mole carbon means 12 gram of carbon is reacting with 32 gram of oxygen, giving us 44 gram of CO2. And this CO2, it is being absorbed by the KOH solution U tube. So it will convert to K2CO3 plus the water. Means that CO2 will be absorbed by KOH solution, and we will get the increase in weight of KOH U tube. So here if we see this reaction, that from this first reaction we can say that 12 gram of carbon giving us 44 gram of CO2. Means what we can say that 44 gram of CO2 corresponds to 12 gram of carbon. So then x gram of CO2 corresponds to x cross multiplication, x into 12 divided by 44. But this amount is being present in W gram coal. Okay, so for 100 gram of coal, it will be x into 12 into 100 divided by 44 into W, where X, that is increase in weight of KOH U2 and W is the weight of coal. So what will be our formula to calculate the percentage of carbon increase in weight of KOH U2 into 12 into 100 divided by weight of coal into 44 will give us the percentage of carbon. In the similar way, we can find out percentage hydrogen. Here we can see that 1 mole of hydrogen is reacting with half mole of oxygen, giving us the formation of 1 mole of water, where we can say 2 gram of hydrogen gives us 18 gram of water, and that will be absorbed by the anhydrous calcium chloride or anhydrous magnesium perchlorate. Means from this what we can say that 18 gram of water corresponds to 2 gram of hydrogen. So suppose we are having y gram of water, increase in our weight of CaCl2U2 is suppose y gram. So then y gram of water corresponds to again cross multiplication. So y into 2 divided by 18. But this amount it will be present again in the W gram of coal. So for 100 gram of coal again we can carry out cross multiplication, and what we are getting here, y into 2 into 100 divided by W into 18, where y, that is the increase in weight of CaCl2 tube into 2 into 100 divided by W into 18. W is weight of coal. Means here we can say that to find out the percent hydrogen, our formula will be increase in weight of CaCl2 tube into 2 into 100 divided by weight of coal into 18. So in this way we can find out our percentage of carbon and hydrogen present in the given type of the coal sample. So basically what we can say that carbon and hydrogen that will directly contribute to the calorific value of the coal. So if we are having higher percentage of carbon and hydrogen, better will be the quality of coal sample and higher will be their calorific value. So what we can see here, that ultimate analysis means nothing but the analysis in which we can find out the percentage of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur and ash. To find out the carbon and hydrogen, we have to use the combustion method, where a known quantity of weighed coal sample, it will be burnt in pure and dry oxygen. So carbon it will convert to CO2 and hydrogen it will convert to H2O. Now these gases will be allowed to pass through the two pre-weighed U-tubes containing KOH solution and anhydrous calcium chloride. So increase in weight of KOH solution U-tube gives us the amount of CO2 formed, while increase in weight of CaCl2 U-tube gives us the amount of water formed. And from this we can find out the percent of carbon, like increase in weight of KOH tube into 12 into 100 divided by weight of coal into 44. And to find out the percentage of hydrogen, increase in weight of CaCl2 U2 into 2 into 100 divided by weight of coal into 18. And in this way we can find out our percentage of carbon and hydrogen. Thank you.